Hello everyone. Eve and I are back to make a new video for you. And this one are, I don't know what you call these. These are word rocks, painted word rocks that you can either put around your neighborhood or make a basket of them and put them in. And you know, these times of day, this time of, I don't know, things are really crazy right now and people need nice things to see. And so sometimes people give these away as presents. So what we're making are rocks like this. I don't know if you can see it. Whee! This one says dream. And I did them on the other side. I did them in Hebrew. So it's shalom. And here's hope. And tikva. And love. And ahava. And I did believe, emunah, and peace, shalom. You don't have to put them in English or Hebrew. You could do one like show Eve, show that one again. That one's just dots, and it's like it's a happy one. People would like to see it. I just happen to like the words on them right now. A couple people also made some other ones for me that just say yes. And these are some flat tiles, broken tiles that I found. And so they wrote yes on those. Here's another yes. And then, you know, and then maybe just dots and things because they're happy to see. And this one's a really cool one. Look at that one. All sorts of dots. I'm going to teach you how to do these. We're going to do mostly the word ones now, but I'm going to teach you how to do these dots and how to make, see all these little tiny dots that I have on there? It's superbly easy. Superbly easy. See, there's more there. So what you need is to first find some rocks. Don't take the big boulders that mom and dad have in the yard that they don't want you to use and ask them if you can take the rocks. Don't take anybody else's, you know, landscaping from the neighborhood, but you can walk the neighborhood and find some rocks. I do this all the time. And even I show you rocks that you picked out. You're going to do those too. I also find some at Michael's. Michael's has some beautiful rocks. They have a canister of them and they're absolutely gorgeous. Like some of these come from Michael's and they're really, really pretty. And you know, look at that one. Look at all the different colors in that one. They're really pretty. But I'm going to do these two. And you probably want to have a couple of them because some stuff takes a little bit of time to dry in between. So next you're going to need some of these acrylic paints like this. Yeah, we have a whole mess of colors here. There's like a ton of colors here because it's really, really fun. And Eve has picked out 3 colors that she wants to use. And I'm going to pick out a couple colors that I want to use. I think I might stay in my same theme and just use the blue, and I used yellow, or maybe I used gold. What else did I use?
Black and white.
Oh, always black. Black is like a really important color. You're going to want to use black too. Black and white are important colors. So I'm just going to pick these 2 right now. So you're going to need some paintbrushes. They don't have to be gorgeous, but you're going to need some paintbrushes. You're going to need a little tub of some water. We always use our recycled yogurt containers. And then you're going to need, oh yeah, you don't have to have these. I happen to have a set of these things that all these little tiny balls on the end. Some of them are bigger than others like this, but you don't need them because you can use, to make your dots, back of paintbrushes, back of pencils, fronts of pencils, toothpicks, all sorts of little itty-bitty things that you find. Yep, you can use, thank you, the word is Q-tips. I knew I could come up with it, thank you. And do I have a toothpick in here? No toothpick in here. Oh, but I have I have a little small paintbrush, so you can use the back of that too. So there's a lot of different things that you can use to help you make your dots. The very first thing you're going to do, if you're going to make them like mine, is you get a paintbrush. And so we got a paintbrush, Eve. You got one? A paintbrush. And you're going to want to make a circle in the middle in one of these colors. A circle in the middle. Is that one going to work? Yeah, okay. So pick your color. And what I do, instead of putting these out on anything, I just open the top and dip in it. And then I don't waste that way because it's easy to put like a ton on a plate. So I'm just going to dip in. Oh, you can't see what we're doing, can you? All right, we're going to go like this. And you see Eve's stuff? We're going to move this. You see? Turn your thing a little bit so they can see. Okay? And we're gonna move. Oh, we have a bunch of other stuff here too. I'm gonna move my paints so you can see. Just move your paints to the other side, and I'm just gonna make a circle. Like I'm gonna do just a circle like this in the middle. Whee! So open up one of your paints, Eve, and make yourself a circle, just like that. Now, most of the time, you're gonna twist off the top, twist off the whole top. Most of the time, they're gonna need a second circle. They're gonna need it twice because if you look, it doesn't look like it's fully painted, and I want it to have more of that look, which is much more darker, much more concentrated, if that's the word, you know, much more, it's got more on it, so you can paint it again. Hmm? Too much? Then just take some of it off. There you go. And then when you want to, if you put too much on, you can wash it off in the water. And then we keep a cloth here to just wipe it off on, but you can use paper towels. I just have like old rags that I use because that way I'm not wasting too many paper towels because I make lots of mistakes and it's need to clean off lots of things. And sometimes when I want to get it nice and concentrated, sometimes it takes a while, I will dot on it like this. I'll dab it, and then it concentrates a little bit more. Whoops, I don't like that side part there, so I might have to make my circle a little bigger. And if it's not a perfect circle, that's cool. And you don't, yeah, perfect, that's perfect. I'm not using that word. Very good, how's that? You can also decide to do the entire rock, to paint the entire rock. That's also a possibility. All right, so when we have our circle done, do you want to use the same color on your next one, a different color? We're going to do the second one too because this has to dry a little bit. So you want to do the same color or a different color?
Same color.
Okay, so same color. Do you want a smaller brush? Would that be easier?
I wanted to do dots.
We're going to do dots. We're going to do dots. But do you want a smaller color?
Can I do dots on this one?
You can do whatever you want. Yes. I'm going to start this way though, and then I'll show you how to do the dots. So if you don't want to do dots right now, just stick it back in the water. Okay? Depending on the size of your rock, you might want to use a small brush. Like mine's not super big because my rocks aren't super big. So I'm making another circle on this one while I let that one dry a little bit. Just like this. And I will probably add to this again, do a little more to it later. I'm dabbing, you see how I'm dabbing? So I can get a little more concentration on it. See? Just like that. All right, into the water it goes to get it cleaned. Perfect. Now, when you're not using your paints, you want to put the lids on. Going to be important. So now, if we want to do dots, you want to start with that one, doing dots?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show you how to do one like this, where I have dots around the outside of the blue. Okay, so I'm going to take my yellow, and I'm going to make a bigger dot and then put a littler dot inside it. This is David. He's popping in to say hello. Hello.
Hello.
So I'm going to take a littler. Do you want to make bigger dots and put little dots inside, or do you want to make little dots? Just little dots? You want to do that? Okay. So I'm going to take, bye-bye, David. So I'm going to take,
Bye-bye.
silly. So I'm going to take this dowel, but you can take, like I said, the end of a pencil, the end of a paintbrush, or the end of a pencil, like this, I can't think of the word, an eraser.
Bad dream.
And you're going to dip into the paint. So I dipped into my paint, and then I'm going to place a dot right there. You see how I did that? And every time I do this, I have to dip again, and I'm going to place another dot. It's not coming out all that well here, so they're not coming flat, but I can add to it afterwards. And then another dot, and I'm going to go all the way around my blue circle with dots. Just like this. Whoops, woo, it's spinning. Ah. All the way around. Whoop, that one I didn't put more on. And sometimes you see how that dot isn't quite filled in. I can fill it in later. Ooh, let's see yours. Let me see. Let's see. Wow. So if you want your dots more concentrated, then you have to keep dipping between each one. But don't press too hard or else they get sort of blotchy. And then if you want, wipe them off. Those things you always want to wipe off. There you go. So if you're working with the dowels or a pencil, I've never done it with the back of a pencil. I know it'll work, but I'm not sure how they clean. So you might want a bunch of them to go with different colors. So now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to clean it off, okay? Because I'm going to use it again. Now I'm going to take something smaller. I'm going to take a back of a paintbrush. And I'm going to then I'm going to borrow some of Eve's white. And I'm going to dip in the white. Whoops, that was a lot. Okay, that's a big dot. You want big dots, Eve?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to dip into the white. And I'm going to put dots a little bit in between. A little bit in between them. You see how I'm doing that? I'm putting them in between. And you want to be careful because everything's kind of wet and it could be a little drippy. So careful how much you put on. Let's see. Beautiful. See? Coming out with little dots. Do you need the white?
Yeah.
Okay, we can share that white. And continue to dip in between. I'm putting them in between. And then I'm going to need to let this one dry a little bit because I want to do dots in dots, which is really fun. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this off so I don't make a mess. I can use it again on use it again for something else. And I'm going to go to my other rock and let this one dry a little bit. Oops. And if you make some little markings on it, it doesn't really matter. The great thing about a Q-tip, like I can always get rid of a little bit of something that I don't like. Okay. Now, let's see. What do I want to do with my other rock? How can I do this one? I'm going to do one more like this, where I've got lines. So in that case, which do you want, sweetie?
Black.
This?
Pen.
Okay. These are paint pens, and I'm going to show you how to use them, but you don't have to have them. Just be very careful. What are you going to write on this yet? Not yet. It's got to be really dry.
I know. I'm just.
Oh, it is dry. You can do it. Got to make sure it's dry.
My first and
What am I doing? I think I'm going to use the pencil, and I'm going to take some more yellow because I'm staying in my theme of yellow, blue, and white, and I'm going to dip this pencil in. And like I have on this one, I'm going to draw little lines. Just little lines. Keep dipping in these. Mm-hmm. Drawing these little lines, and remember you have to keep dipping in, especially if you want it to be concentrated, because the more you do it without dipping back in, the less paint you'll have and it'll get a little lighter. Happy! And when you're done with that, you can put dots all over the place. So I'm making these lines to go all the way around the outside. We're going to do 2 rocks, each one of us. Right, Eve?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go all the way around. And wipe it off. Should I wipe off your thing? Okay. So now I have those little things all the way around. See?
How would I wipe this off?
Hmm?
How would I wipe this off?
Oh, you don't have to wipe that off. Okay. So these things are still drying, but in between, now, I have these things called paint pens, but you don't have to have them. You could use toothpicks and anything else, but what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put littler dots in between. I'm not pressing hard, because when I pressed hard, it got... So if you use toothpicks, you see those little dots in between? Whoop. You can get these little dots on your rocks. Just look at what happened! Big mess! Whoa! So I'm gonna take my, where'd my thingy go there? My Q-tip. And I'm just gonna get rid of that. That's a great thing about these acrylics. You can just get rid of it. Whoops! Actually, not getting rid of very easy. I could just wash this. So I could take a little of this really messy paint and just wash it off. That just comes right off. Or I could just decide, so what? Big blob. Who cares? Not a big deal. I do now have some interesting color on that. And I'm not going to worry about it. It is just fine. But I'm going to go back to I'm going to add my little lines again. The ones that I just got rid of because the paint got all messy. Here we go. Clean it again. And where'd that white one go? Where did I put it? Oh, right here. So I'll go back to putting my little white dots. So I guess I'd say if you're using paint pens and it looks like you need to press on it to get more paint coming out, you should probably like test it out on something else. Make sure that it's not going to have one of its big blobs coming out. What you need, babes? Do you want me to move those over?
Yeah.
So you can get them. So, that's what I got so far. That's what I got so far. I kind of feel like I need a little green. One of these other ones had a little green in it. So if it's okay with Eve, I'm going to borrow a little green for one of these.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take a little green. I'm still working on this one because this one is still really, really wet. But I'm going to use some green and I'm going to, whoops, Eva, this goes in there, okay, hon? I'm going to, messy. I'm going to take the green and I'm going to make little dots. You know what? I want something bigger. I want some bigger dots. So I have these other things that can make me bigger dots. But you can find things around the house that can make you big, that can make you dots. I bet you can look around the house and see what you could find. So I'm going to make some bigger dots.
Can you pass the yellow paint over?
The paint's over? Sure.
I just need this color.
I'm going to make bigger dots all the way around the blue. Yeah, all the way around. We sometimes put on music when we're doing this because it's just so relaxing. Okay, my blue's a little wet. I have to be very careful. Very, very careful. And wipe it off. And see? Now I put green on there. Do you see how I put it all around the blue? All right, I'm going to attempt to go back to this one because I want to show you how to put... Oh, what are we showing us? Let's see. Let's see. Be happy and a swirl and some pretty colors on the outside. That's beautiful. Now, if somebody gets that, they're going to really like it. Now I'm going to go to my black, so I'm going to put my top on my yellow so it doesn't do anything. Oops, I didn't wipe this off. Whoops, should we share it? I didn't wipe this off very well. It's pretty colored. Ugh. All right, so I'm going to take my black now. Where's the top of the green? Do you have the top of the green? Do I have the top of the green? Where's the top of the green? Whee! It's top of the yellow. Oh, top of the green right in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to take the black now, and I'm going to do little black dots inside of the yellow dots. So this is how you start to get really interesting colors. Little black dots.
Yes, black.
Want black? Yep. Little black dots inside the yellow dots. Now, you really should wait until this dries a little better, but I'm not pressing very hard. And I'm making sure that with each dot, there is enough paint on it so it won't ruin the yellow. What you need, babes?
Orange.
This? Is that orange?
Yeah.
See? I just put black dots inside of the yellow dots. And you do the same thing. You put a black dot inside of a green dot. And then if I want, I can add black dots to the white dots. I'll add black dots to the white dots. Some of these white dots are really not dry yet. Gotta be a little patient, but for this video I can keep going. Getting all those black dots inside the white dots. See? Now we have lots and lots of black dots inside the white dots. I think the black dots kind of help a lot with using the black. Really gives it some definition and is really nice to put on there. Now I'm going to do something with some, I'm going to put a tiny dot inside the black dot, believe it or not. I'm going to get a tiny blue dot inside the black dot. See if it works, because black dots are nice and wet right now. So I got to be careful. See if it works. It's subtle. You don't like see it big time. Ah, it's this weird thing from the paint that's on the thing. Ah, I can't get it off. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm just in the ones that have yellow. I'm putting this tiny blue dot. And that allows me to have just a little more color. Do dots inside of dots, inside of dots, inside of dots, inside of dots, etc., etc., etc. See? Now I have the little blue dots inside of the black dots. And the final thing, what are you showing? Let's see. Nice! This is kind of coming out like a, I don't know what you call those, almost like a spidery web. Now the last thing that I'm going to do before I start my writing, do you have the black pen?
What?
Do you have the black pen? Okay. And the black lid here, thank you. I'm going to take the black pen and I'm going to do little black dots all around the blue. All around the blue circle. So this is part of my collection of all the other ones. Now what I did in the other ones is I did one side and then I let it totally dry and then I painted the other side. So I did a bunch of one sides and then I painted the other side. So I had both, but you can't finish one until the other one's done. Oops, just stuck my finger in it. Be careful because it's easy to stick your fingers in these things and wind up with paint all over you and smush paint all over the rock. But again, remember, wash the rock off if you want. And then it will be free to start all over again. Okay, so I think this one is done except for the word in between. I might fix a little bit of it. See how I got that there? And I could add dots in between the dots if I wanted. I could add more dots in between here. See how I just added a couple dots in between there. So all sorts of things we could do. I want them to dry enough so I can put the word on the middle. This one's almost dry enough. This one needs a little black though. Doesn't have any black, and black is important on these.
It had a bubble.
Wow. Oh, you had a bubble. It looks like a little, do you not like it?
I like it. It's so cool.
It looks like a little ladybug almost.
And then I got another look up.
Cool.
It's like 3D.
You just never know quite how they're going to come out. And we try to enjoy whatever artistic stuff comes out of them.
I like it. So
What, honey?
I like it so much.
You do? Good. And they're really, isn't this relaxing, Eve?
Yeah.
It's so relaxing. Okay, I'm just about done with these. And then we will turn off the video and let you guys do yours, and we'll just keep going. So here I just added a few more dots in there. And you can see. And now I have to figure out what word I want to come up with. I have peace and family and dream and hope and believe and love. What should I put on here? What about
Happiness.
justice? Or you put smile. Did you put smile?
I put be happy.
You put be happy. What do I want to put on here? Justice. Tzedek. Oi, I got a little, let's see. Oh, cool. I got a little messy in mine, but oh well. So now I have to see if I can write on here or if it's too wet still. It's too wet. I can't write on it yet. But you get the idea, because ultimately I'm just going to write on it. You can use a Sharpie if you want. If you don't have a paint pen, Sharpies work just fine. And then the last piece that you need to do, and I don't think I have it here, is you need to spray it. In order to put it outside, hello, I'm coming back up. In order to put these outside, you need to spray them with some sort of finishing thing. Ask mom or dad to help you figure it out. If you go over to Michael's, it's sort of like a sealant. And then you can put them outside. If you don't have the sealant on it, it's all just going to wash away. I have made a bunch of them and put them outside, and some of them weren't sealed well enough. So here's my ladybugs. Does it still look like a ladybug? No. Here's my M&M. It's really cracked M&M. So it's like an M&M. It was an eaten M&M that's all cracked, and some other ones that were just sitting outside that no longer have much. This is my turtle. So they kind of just,
This one was outside.
that one was outside and it kind of fell apart. So you just want to make sure you seal them really well. And they still might, some of it still might come off. But they're really lovely and really sweet, and you can put them in a basket or something, or you can, like I said, hand them out to your neighbors, leave them for your mailman, whatever you want to do to make them spread a little joy. Oh, that's a good one. I could write joy. All right. Nice to see you. Show us your rocks. I hope you have fun doing it. Oh, and you can also make pyramids out of all your paints.